Maya Rodriguez pressed her face against the cold window of the transport ship. Earth looked so small from here, just a blue dot getting bigger and bigger. Her metal left arm made a soft humming sound as she moved it. The doctors had given her the best robotic arm they could make after she lost her real one in the war. 6 years. That's how long she had been away from home fighting aliens called the Zephyrians. 6 years of shooting, running, hiding, and watching friends die. Now the war was over and humanity had won. Everyone said they were heroes. Maya didn't feel like a hero. She felt tired and broken inside. The ship was full of soldiers going home. Most of them were laughing and talking about what they would do when they got back. Some were crying happy tears. Maya just sat quietly and watched Earth get closer. She tried to remember what it felt like to be happy, but it seemed like a dream from long ago. "Hey, Maya, come join us," called out Bobby Garcia from across the room. He was a nice guy. He used to fix radio equipment during the war. Now he was missing 2 fingers on his right hand, but he still smiled all the time. "We're talking about the first thing we want to eat when we get home." Maya shook her head. "I'm good here, thanks." She turned back to the window. The truth was, she couldn't remember what food tasted like before the war. Everything had tasted like metal and fear for so long. During the war, Maya had been a squad leader. She was in charge of 20 soldiers, and they all looked up to her. When the aliens attacked human colonies, Maya and her team would fight back. She was good at making fast decisions and keeping her people alive. Other soldiers called her Iron. Maya because she never gave up, no matter how bad things got. But being strong during the war had cost her something. She couldn't cry anymore. She couldn't laugh like she used to. Sometimes she wondered if the aliens had taken more than just her arm. Maybe they had taken the part of her that knew how to be normal. The ship shook a little as it entered Earth's atmosphere. Maya could see clouds now, and then green fields and cities. Everything looked so peaceful and clean. During the war, every planet she visited was covered in smoke and fire. She had almost forgotten that places could look this calm. "Attention. All personnel," came a voice over the ship's speakers. "We will be landing at Edwards Air Force Base in 30 minutes. Please prepare for arrival." Maya's stomach felt sick. She had been dreading this moment for weeks. What was she supposed to do now? During the war, every day had a purpose. Wake up, check weapons, protect people, stay alive. Now what? Go to the grocery store? Watch television? The idea seemed impossible. Lisa Hamilton sat down next to Maya. Lisa had been Maya's commanding officer during the war and her closest friend. She walked with a limp now because of her fake leg, but she still carried herself like a soldier. "You okay?" Lisa asked quietly. Maya looked at her friend. Lisa's face had new lines around her eyes, and her hair was starting to turn gray, even though she was only 32. The war had aged all of them. "I don't know how to do this," Maya said. It was the first honest thing she had said in months. "Do what?" "Be normal. Live like regular people." "I've been thinking about it for weeks, and I can't figure out how to be a regular person anymore." Lisa nodded. "I know. I keep waking up at 4 in the morning looking for my weapon. Yesterday, I tried to order coffee, and when the lady at the counter asked me too many questions about what kind I wanted, I almost had a panic attack. You too? All of us, I think. We just don't talk about it." Maya felt a little better knowing she wasn't alone. But she still didn't know how to fix the problem. The ship landed with a soft bump. Outside the windows, Maya could see families waiting behind barriers. They were holding signs and balloons. Some were crying. She could see news reporters with cameras. "Welcome home, heroes," said the pilot over the speakers. Maya stood up with everyone else, but her legs felt weak. She picked up her small bag. Everything she owned in the world fit in one bag now. Before the war, she had an apartment full of things. Now she didn't care about stuff anymore. The doors opened and warm earth air rushed in. It smelled like grass and flowers. Maya had forgotten how good clean air could smell. On the alien planets, the air always smelled like burning metal and death. The soldiers started walking off the ship. Maya could hear people cheering and crying outside. She took a deep breath and followed the crowd. As soon as she stepped outside, the noise hit her like a wall. Hundreds of people were yelling and clapping. Cameras were flashing. Children were running around screaming with excitement. Maya's heart started beating fast, and not in a good way. Too many people. Too much noise. Too many things happening at once. During the war, crowds meant danger. Noise meant the enemy was close. Flashing lights meant explosions. Maya's brain was telling her to run or fight, but she forced herself to keep walking. A reporter with a microphone pushed through the crowd toward her. "Excuse me, are you Lieutenant Commander Rodriguez, the hero of the Battle of Kepler Station?" Maya stared at the woman. She didn't feel like a hero. Heroes in movies were happy when they won. They smiled and kissed their girlfriends and everything was perfect. Maya just felt empty and scared. "I need to go," Maya said, and walked away quickly. She found Lisa near the bus that would take them to the processing center. Lisa looked as uncomfortable as Maya felt. "This is going to be harder than I thought," Lisa said. Maya nodded. She looked back at all the happy families reuniting with their soldiers. Everyone looked so normal and clean and safe. She wondered if she would ever feel that way again, or if the war had changed her forever. The bus pulled up, and Maya got on. As it drove away from the base, she watched the celebration get smaller behind them. Soon she would have to figure out how to live. In a world where people worried about normal things like jobs and bills and what to watch on TV. The war was over, but Maya's real battle was just beginning. 3 months after coming home, Maya sat in her small apartment, staring at her computer screen. She had been looking for jobs online for 2 hours, but nothing made sense. All the job ads talked about things like team building and customer service and managing social media accounts. Maya knew how to lead soldiers into battle and plan attacks on enemy bases. She had no idea what managing a social media account meant. Her apartment was on the 5th floor of a building in Seattle. It was supposed to be nice, but Maya hated it. The walls were too thin, and she could hear her neighbors talking and watching TV all the time. During the war, she had learned to sleep through bomb explosions, but now the sound of someone's music kept her awake all night. The government had given her money for being a war veteran, so she didn't need to work right away. But Maya was going crazy sitting around doing nothing. She needed something to do with her hands and her mind, or she would start thinking too much about the war. Her family had tried to help at first. Her mom made her favorite foods, and her dad showed her how much the city had changed while she was gone. Her younger brother Jake worked for a computer company and made good money. He kept trying to explain his job to Maya, but she didn't understand why people needed so many apps on their phones. "You should try online dating," Jake had said last week. "There are apps for everything now. You just swipe right if you like." Maya had stared at him. During the war, she had been too busy staying alive to think about dating. Now the idea of sitting across from some stranger at dinner and pretending to be normal seemed impossible. What would she talk about? How she had killed alien soldiers with her bare hands. How she still woke up screaming sometimes. The worst part was how everyone treated her like she was made of glass now. At the grocery store, people stared at her metal arm and whispered to each other. Some people thanked her for her service, but they said it in a weird way, like they were scared of her. Kids pointed at her robotic fingers and asked their parents loud questions about why her arm looked funny. Maya closed her laptop and walked to her kitchen. She opened the refrigerator and stared at all the food inside. During the war, they had eaten the same protein bars and dried meals every day. Now she had dozens of choices, but nothing looked good. She grabbed a bottle of water and sat down. On her couch, the TV was playing some show about people dating on an island. Maya watched the people cry and fight about who liked who. She couldn't understand why anyone cared about such small problems. During the war, the only thing that mattered was whether you and your friends would be alive tomorrow. Her phone rang. It was her mom. "Hi, sweetie. How are you doing today?" "I'm fine, Mom." "Did you apply for any jobs?" Maya looked at her computer. "I'm working on it. Jake said there's an opening at his company. Something with computers." "I know you're smart enough to learn." Maya closed her eyes. Her family meant well, but they didn't understand. She had been in charge of important military operations. She had made decisions that saved thousands of people. Now they wanted her to sit in an office answering emails about computer problems. "I'll think about it, Mom." "Okay, honey. Are you eating enough?" "You sound tired." Maya was always tired now. She slept maybe 3 hours a night because of the nightmares. But she couldn't tell her mom that. "I'm eating fine. I have to go now." After she hung up, Maya decided to go for a walk. Maybe the fresh air would help her think better. Seattle was busy in the afternoon. People walked quickly down the sidewalks, talking on their phones and looking at their screens. Cars honked at each other in traffic. Maya walked slowly, trying not to feel overwhelmed by all the noise and movement. She passed a coffee shop where people sat at small tables typing on laptops. Through the window, she could see them looking relaxed and happy. Maya wondered what it felt like to sit somewhere without constantly checking the exits and watching for danger. "Hey," man bumped into her on the sidewalk and kept walking without saying sorry. Maya's first instinct was to grab him and throw him to the ground. During the war, anyone who got too close might be trying to kill you. She forced herself to keep walking, but her heart was beating fast and her metal hand was clenched into a fist. Maya found herself at a small park with trees and benches. She sat down and tried to calm down. An old man was feeding pigeons nearby. A mother was pushing her baby in a stroller. 2 teenagers were playing with a dog. Everyone looked so peaceful and normal. A little girl ran past Maya chasing a red ball. The ball rolled under Maya's bench, and the girl came over to get it. "Can you help me get my ball?" the girl asked. Maya reached under the bench and picked up the ball. As she handed it to the girl, she noticed the child was staring at her metal arm. "Does it hurt?" the girl asked. "No," Maya said quietly. "It doesn't hurt anymore. It looks cool, like a robot." The girl's mother came running over. "Emma, don't bother the lady." "It's okay," Maya said, but the mother grabbed the little girl's hand and pulled her away quickly. Maya sat alone on the bench as the sun started to set. She thought about her old life during the war. Everything had been terrible and dangerous, but at least she had known who she was. She was Lieutenant Commander Maya Rodriguez, squad leader, protector of human colonies. People counted on her, and she never let them down. Now she was just another veteran who couldn't figure out how to buy coffee without having a panic attack. Maya's phone buzzed with a text message. It was from Lisa Hamilton, her old commanding officer. "Found a veterans group that meets downtown. Want to check it out tomorrow?" Maya stared at the message for a long time. She hadn't talked to any other veterans since coming home. Maybe talking to people who understood would help. Or maybe It would just make her feel worse, she typed back. What time? Maya stood up from the bench and started walking home. The streets were getting dark, and the city lights were coming on. During the war, darkness meant danger. Here, it just meant another day was ending. Tomorrow, she would try again to figure out how to be a normal person. But tonight, she would. Probably have the same nightmares about explosions and dead friends and alien monsters. Maya unlocked her apartment door and stepped inside. The silence felt heavy and empty. She missed the sound of her squad talking and joking around their camp. She missed having a purpose and people who depended on her. Most of all, she missed feeling like she belonged somewhere. Maya's hands were shaking as she sat on the floor of the shopping mall bathroom. People were knocking on the door, asking if she was okay, but she couldn't answer. Her metal arm was making strange sparking sounds, and her breathing was too fast. It had started when she walked into the big department store. Too many people, too many bright lights, too many sounds all at once. When a security alarm went off near the electronics section, Maya's brain thought it was an enemy attack alarm. She had dropped to the ground and crawled behind a display of flower pots, her heart pounding like a drum. Security guards found her there 20 minutes later. They were nice about it, but Maya could see the fear in their eyes. One of them was young, maybe 19 years old. He kept staring at her metal arm like it might explode. "Ma'am, do you need us to call someone?" The older guard asked. Maya shook her head. She couldn't call her family. They wouldn't understand. She couldn't call her old friends from before the war, because she had nothing in common with them anymore. "I'm fine," she lied. "Just felt sick for a minute." The guards helped her to the bathroom and left her alone. Maya sat on the cold tile floor and tried to remember the breathing exercises the army doctors had taught her. In for 4 counts, hold for 4, out for 4. But her chest felt too tight. After an hour, Maya felt strong enough to leave the mall. She walked to her car slowly, keeping her head down so people wouldn't stare. The drive home was hard because her hands were still shaking. That night, Maya called the number Lisa had given her for the veterans group. A woman answered with a calm, steady voice. "Hello, this is Dr. Patricia Williams. How can I help you?" Maya didn't know what to say at first. "I think I need help. I'm a veteran, and I can't figure out how to live normal life." "That's very common," Dr. Williams said kindly. "Many veterans struggle with the transition home. Would you like to come in and talk?" 2 days later, Maya sat in Dr. Williams' office. It was a small, quiet room with soft chairs and plants on the windowsill. Dr. Williams was an older woman with gray hair and kind eyes. She didn't stare at Maya's metal arm or ask stupid questions about the war. "Tell me about what happened at the mall," Dr. Williams said. Maya told her about the panic attack, the security guards, and how embarrassed she felt. Dr. Williams listened without judging. "Your brain is still in survival mode," Dr. Williams explained. "During the war, loud noises and crowds meant danger. Your mind is trying to protect you, but it doesn't understand that you're safe now." "Will I ever feel normal again?" Maya asked. "You'll feel better, but you might never feel the same as before the war. That's okay. You've been through things that changed you. The goal isn't to go back to who you were. It's to become someone new who can live with those experiences." Dr. Williams told Maya about a program called the Guardian Initiative. It helped veterans find jobs that used their military skills in peaceful ways. "There's a man named Richard Stone who runs it," Dr. Williams said. "He's a former colonel who lost both legs in the war. He might have some ideas for you." The next week, Maya met Colonel Stone at a coffee shop downtown. He was in a wheelchair, but he moved with confidence and strength. His handshake was firm, and he looked Maya in the eyes when he talked. "I read your military file," Colonel Stone said. "Very impressive. Squad leader, tactical specialist, commendations for bravery. How are you doing with civilian life? Maya decided to be honest. Terrible. I can't find work. I don't fit in anywhere. And I had a panic attack in a shopping mall last week. Colonel Stone nodded. I threw a coffee mug at a wall because the barista asked me too many questions about what size I wanted. Civilian life is harder than combat sometimes. Really? Really? In combat, the rules are clear. Kill the enemy, protect your people, complete the mission. In civilian life, the rules keep changing and nobody tells you what they are. Colonel Stone opened a tablet and showed Maya some job listings. They weren't regular jobs. They were positions with companies that understood military experience. There's a security company called Stellar Defense Solutions, he said. They provide protection for space stations and transport ships. All their employees are veterans. They understand what we've been through. Maya looked at the job description. Security team leader for Luna City, the big colony on the moon. The work involved protecting civilians, coordinating with local authorities, and managing emergency responses. It sounds like military work, Maya said. It is, in a way. But instead of fighting enemies, you'd be protecting people, using your skills to help instead of hurt. Maya felt something she hadn't felt in months. Hope. Would they hire someone like me? Someone who has panic attacks in malls? Colonel Stone smiled. Maya, half their employees have panic attacks in malls. The other half have different problems. That's why they created the company. To give people like us a place where we belong. The interview with Stellar Defense was different from any job interview Maya had tried before. The interviewer was Susan Davis, a former major who had served in the same war as Maya. She asked about Maya's tactical experience, her leadership style, and how she handled pressure. When Maya mentioned her struggles with civilian life, Susan didn't look uncomfortable. Instead, she nodded with understanding. I couldn't buy groceries for 6 months after I got back, Susan said. Too many choices, too many people. I used to order everything online and have it delivered so I wouldn't have to leave my apartment. Really? Really? The job on Luna City isn't easy, but it's structured. You'll have clear responsibilities, a team that understands you, and work that matters. Plus, Luna City is quiet. No crowds, no traffic, no random loud noises. Maya felt her chest get tight with excitement instead of fear for the first time in months. When would I start? If you want the job, you can start next month. We'll provide transportation to Luna City, housing, and full medical support, including therapy. We take care of our people. That night, Maya called Lisa to tell her the news. Luna City? Lisa said. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you. I'm scared, Maya admitted. What if I mess up? You won't mess up. You're Iron Maya, remember? You've survived worse than managing security for a moon colony. Maya looked out her apartment window at the city lights below. Soon she would be looking at Earth from the moon, protecting people instead of fighting aliens. It wasn't the life she had planned before the war, but maybe it was the life she was meant to have now. For the first time since coming home, Maya felt like she might have a future. 2 years had passed since Maya moved to Luna City. She stood in the security control room, watching screens that showed every part of the moon colony. The city was home to 50,000 people who lived and worked in the big domed buildings, connected by covered walkways. Maya was in charge of keeping all of them safe. Her team was small but good. Bobby Garcia handled all the communication systems. He was the same guy from the transport ship who used to fix radios during the war. His missing fingers didn't slow him down at all. Linda Thompson was their medical officer. She had been a combat medic during the war and now made sure the colony's emergency medical systems worked perfectly. Maya, we're getting weird readings from the solar panel arrays. Bobby said from his desk. Looks like there might be a big solar storm coming. Maya walked over to look at his screen. The numbers were all wrong. Solar storms were dangerous for space colonies because they could knock out power and communication systems. Without power, Luna City would lose air recycling, water pumps, and heat. People could die. How long do we have? Maya asked. Maybe 6 hours before it hits us, Bobby said. Okay, let's start emergency procedures. Linda, check all the medical stations. Bobby, send alerts to department heads. I'll call the colony administrator. Maya felt the familiar feeling of being in charge during a crisis. But this time, instead of planning an attack on alien positions, she was planning to save lives. It felt good to use her military training for something positive. Administrator Helen Carter answered Maya's call immediately. How bad is it? Bad. Enough that we need to evacuate non-essential personnel to the underground shelters, Maya said. We'll keep minimal staff to run critical systems. Do it, Helen said. I trust your judgment. Over the next 4 hours, Maya coordinated the biggest emergency evacuation in Luna City's history. Her team worked like a machine, just like they had during the war. But instead of moving soldiers into battle positions, they were moving families to safety. Maya walked through the colony's main corridor, checking on the evacuation. Parents carried sleeping children. Elderly people helped each other walk. Everyone was scared, but they followed instructions without panicking because they trusted Maya's team. Mrs. Chun, you need to take your family to Shelter C, Maya told an older woman who was struggling with her bags. But my husband is still at the power plant, Mrs. Chun said. We'll make sure he gets to safety too. I promise. Maya's metal arm helped her carry heavy equipment that other people couldn't lift. Her robotic fingers were stronger than regular hands, and they didn't get tired. Sometimes she thought about the battle where she lost her real arm, but now the memory didn't hurt as much. Her metal arm had helped her save lives today. The solar storm hit Luna City right on schedule. Maya watched from the control room as the colony's power systems flickered and died. Emergency backup power kicked in, but it would only last 12 hours. Maya, we've got a problem, Linda said over the radio. The air recycling system in Shelter B just went offline. We've got 800 people in there. Maya's heart started beating faster, but not from panic this time, from excitement. This was the kind of problem she was good at solving. Bobby, can you reroute power from the south residential section? Already working on it, Bobby said. His fingers flew over his keyboard. Got it. Shelter B is back online. For the next 10 hours, Maya and her team dealt with one emergency after another. A water pump failed in the medical center. A door got stuck in the main corridor. The communication. A ray lost contact with Earth. Each time, Maya made quick decisions, and her team made them happen. When the solar storm finally ended, Maya was exhausted but proud. Every single person in Luna City was safe. No one had been seriously hurt. The colony's systems were all working again. Great job, everyone, Maya said to her team. Get some rest. We'll do a full system check tomorrow. As Bobby and Linda left the control room, Maya sat down at her desk. She looked at the screens showing the colony coming back to life. People were leaving the shelters and going back to their homes and jobs. Children were playing in the recreational areas. Everything was normal again. Maya's computer chimed with a new message. It was from a young veteran named Danny Martinez, who had just returned from the war. He was Tony's younger brother, and Tony had given him Maya's contact information. The message said, Hi, I heard you might be able to help me. I just got back from fighting the Zephyrians, and I don't know how to live in normal life anymore. I keep having nightmares, and I can't find a job. My family tries to help, but they don't understand. I don't know what to do. Maya stared at the message for a long time. She remembered feeling exactly the same way when she first came home. Lost, broken, unable to connect with civilian life. The shopping mall panic attack felt like it happened to a different person now. She started typing her reply. Hi, Danny. I understand exactly how you feel. I had the same problems when I came home. The good news is that it gets better, but you have to find the right place for your skills. You learned how to protect people during the war. Now you need to find a way to protect people during peace. Maya told Danny about the Guardian Initiative, Dr. Williams, and the different jobs available for veterans who wanted to serve others. She explained how military training could be used for search and rescue, disaster relief, colony security, and emergency response. The skills that kept us alive in war can keep others safe in peace, Maya wrote. We just need to find the right place to use them. After sending the message, Maya walked to the observation deck. Through the big windows, she could see Earth hanging in the black sky like a blue marble. It looked peaceful and beautiful from here. Maya thought about her journey from the transport ship to Luna City. She had survived the war against the aliens, but coming home had been the hardest battle of all. Learning to live with her memories, finding her place in a world that didn't understand her, and discovering that she could still serve others, even though the war was over. Her metal arm reflected the Earth's light as she moved it. The robotic fingers that had once felt like a reminder of everything she had lost now felt like tools that helped her protect the people she cared about. Maya's phone buzzed with a text from Lisa, who now worked for a disaster relief organization on Earth. Heard about the solar storm. Glad everyone is safe. Proud of you? Maya smiled and typed back, Thanks, just doing my job. But it was more than just a job. It was a purpose. A way to take all the terrible things that had happened during the war and turn them into something good. Maya had found her place in the world, and it wasn't the same as before the war, but it was exactly where she belonged.